Poems by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The Rhodora. On being asked whence is the flower. In May, when sea winds pierced our solitudes, I found the fresh rhodora in the woods, spreading its leafless plumes in a damp nook, to please the desert and the sluggish brook. The purple petals fallen in the pool made the black water with their beauty gay. Here might the redbird come his plumes to cool, and court the flower that cheapens his array. Rhodora, if the sages ask thee why this charm is wasted on the earth and sky, tell them, dear, that if eyes were made for seeing, then beauty is its own excuse for being. Why there wert there, O rival of the rose? I never thought to ask, I never knew, but in my simple ignorance suppose the selfsame power that brought me there brought you. The humble bee. Burly dozing humble bee, where thou art is climb for me. Let them sail for Puerto Rico, far off heats through seas to seek. I will follow thee alone, thou animated torrid zone, zigzag steerer, desert cheerer. Let me chase thy waving lines, keep me nearer, me thy hearer, singing over shrubs and vines. Insect lover of the sun, joy of thy dominion, sailor of the atmosphere, swimmer through the waves of air, voyager of light and noon, Epicurean of June. Wait, I prithee, till I come within earshot of thy hum. All without is martyrdom. When the south wind in May days, with a net of shining haze, silvers of the horizon wall, and with the softness touching all, tints the human countenance with the color of romance, and infusing subtle heats turns the sod to violets. Thou in sunny solitudes, rover of this underwoods, the green silence dost displace with thy mellow, breezy bass. Hot midsummer's petted crone, sweet to me thy drowsy tone, tells of countless sunny hours, long days and solid banks of flowers, of gulfs of sweetness without bound, in Indian wilderness found, of Syrian peace, immortal leisure, firmest cheer and bird-like pleasure. Aught unsavory or unclean hath my insect never seen, but the violets and bilberry bells, maple sap and daffodils, grass with green, flag half-mast high, succory to match the sky, columbine with horn of honey. Scented fern and agrimony, clover, catchfly, adder's tongue, and briar roses dwelt among. All beside was unknown waste, all was picture as he paced. Wiser far than human seer, yellow-breeched philosopher, seeing only what is fair, sipping only what is sweet, thou dost mock at fate and care. Leave the chaff and take the wheat, whence the fierce northern wind blast cools sea and land so far and fast, thou already slumberest deep. Woe and want thou canst outsleep, want and woe which torture us, thy sleep makes ridiculous. Fable. The mountain and the squirrel had a quarrel, and the former called the latter little prig. Bun replied, you are doubtless very big, but all sorts of things and weather must be taken in together, to make up a year and a sphere, and I think it no disgrace to occupy my place. If it's not so large as you, you are not as small as I, and not half so spry. I'll not deny you make a very pretty squirrel track. Talents differ, all is well, and wisely put. If I cannot carry forests on my back, neither can you crack a nut. Astrea. Himself it was who wrote his rank and quartered his own coat. There is no king, no sovereign state that can fix a hero's rate. Each to all is venerable, cap up high, invulnerable, until he write where all eyes rest, slave or master on his breast. I saw man go up and down in the country and the town, with this prayer upon their neck, judgment and a judge we seek. Not to monarchs they repair, nor to learned jurists' chair, but they hurry to their peers, to their kinsfolk and their dears. Louder than with speech they pray, what am I, companions say, and the friend not hesitates to assign just place and mates, answers not in the word or letter, yet is understood the better, is to his friend a looking-glass, reflects his figure that doth pass. Every wayfarer he meets, What himself declared repeats, what himself confessed records, sentences him in his words. The form is his own corporal form, and his thought the penal worm. Yet shine forever virgin minds, loved by stars and purest winds, which o'er passion throned sedate have not hazarded their state. Disconcert the searching spry, rendering to a curious eye the durance of granite ledge, to those who gaze from the sea's edge. It is there for benefit, it is there for purging light, there for purifying storms, and its depth reflect all forms. It cannot parley with the mean, pure by impure is not seen, for there is no sequestered grot, lone mountain, tarn, or isle forgot, but justice, journeying in the sphere, daily stoops to harbor there. Etienne de la Boisse. I serve you not if you follow, if you I follow, shadow-like over hill and hollow, and bend my fancy to your leading, all too nimble for my treading. When the pilgrimage is done, and we've the landscape overrun, I am bitter, vacant, thwarted, and your heart is unsupported. Vainly valiant you have missed the manhood that should yours resist its complement. But if I could, in severe or cordial mood, lead you rightly to my altar, where the wisest muses falter, and worship that world-warming spark which dazzles me in the midnight dark, equalizing small and large, while the soul it doth surcharge, that the poor is wealthy grown, and the hermit never alone, the traveller and the road seem one, with the errand to be done. There were a man's and lover's part, that were freedom widest chart. Sum cuique. The rain has spoiled the farmer's day. Shall sorrow put my books away? Thereby are 2 days lost. Nature shall mind her own affairs. I shall attend my proper cares, in rain or sun or frost. Compensation. Why should I keep holiday when other men have none? Why but because when these are gay, I sit and mourn alone? And why when mirth unseals all tongues, should mine alone be dumb? Ah, late I spoke to silent throngs, and now their hour is come. Forbearance. Hast thou named all the birds without a gun, loved the wood rose and left it on its stalk, at rich men's tables eaten bread and pulse, unarmed faced danger with a heart of trust, and loved so well a high behavior in man or maid, that thou from speech refrained, nobility more nobly to repay? O be my friend and teach me to be thine. Bearing. May be true what I had heard, earth's a hollowing wilderness, truculent with fraud and force, said I, strolling through the pastures, and along the riverside, caught among the blackberry vines, feeding on the Ethiop sweet. Pleasant fancies overtook me. I said, what influence me preferred, elect to dreams thus beautiful? The vines replied, and didst thou deem no wisdom to our berries went? Thine eyes still shined for me, though far I lonely rove the land or sea, as I behold yon evening star, which yet beholds not me. This morn I climbed the misty hill, and roamed the pastures through. How danced thy form before my path, amazed the deep I do. When the red bird spread his sable wing, and showed his side of flame, when the rosebud ripened to the rose, in both I read thy name. Eros. The sense of the word is short, long and various the report. To love and be beloved, men and gods have not outlearned it, and how oft soever they returned it, 'tis not be improved. Loss and gain. Virtue runs before the muse, and defies her skill. She is rapt and doth refuse to wait a painter's will. Star adorning occupied, virtue cannot bend her, just to please a poet's pride, to parade her splendor. The bard must be with good intent, no more his but hers, must throw away his pen and paint, kneel with worshippers. When then perchance a sunny ray from the heaven of fire his lost tools may overpay, and better his desire.